All right, so next step, dealing with ratios kind of goes hand in hand with ratios is proportions. Now, what a proportion is it's an equation, a little bit different than what we did on Friday, but it's an equation that says two ratios are equal to one another. So I want to do like as basic an example as this as I can. Go back to third grade. You've got a fraction 4/6, that's a ratio, equals a simplified version of that 2/3. Now, the nice thing about proportions is if I cross multiply these, if I multiply the numerator and the denominator diagonally, what I wind up with, if I multiply 3 times 4, I get 12. And if I multiply 6 times 2, I also get 12. So if I take the bigger version of a ratio and the simplified version of a ratio and I find what's called the cross products, those cross products are equal. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to use that idea of cross multiplying to set up two halves of an equation that we can solve. So what's going to happen basically is, like let's say I didn't know that that was a 2, right? That's what I'm trying to find out what one part of a ratio is, either if it's been upscaled or simplified, and trying to solve that equation. So if you've had me for geometry, we did this way back in Unit 7. This is really straightforward algebra. It's going to be a real simple equation to solve once you get past that first step. Okay, so we'll just jump right in and do some of these. This should be review for every single one of you. So if this is new, watch this part a couple of times if you need to. So I'm going to cross multiply here. I'm going to take 5 times x, that's 5x, that's half of my equation, and 4 times 30, that's 120, that's the other half of my equation. So I get this really simple one-step equation to solve. It's just you kind of have to set the equation up first. So if I take 120 and I divide that by 5, right, that's your step, is to divide out your coefficient. 120 divided by 5 is 24. Okay, that's it. There's nothing else to it. You're done. Okay, this one is a little more complex because when you multiply here, you're going to have to distribute your 5. We haven't done that in a while. The other one, though, when I multiply 2x and 3, that one's pretty straightforward. So multiply your 2 halves. So 2x times 3 is 6x. And then when I multiply here, because it's x plus 1, it's 2 terms, I have to distribute. So that's going to be 5x plus 5. Whoops. You're combining like terms, so subtract 5x off of 6x. I've got a single x equals 5. Okay, we haven't done an equation like this in a while. We've been spending so much time on polynomials. This will probably be the sticky point where you have to distribute and combine terms and kind of pull back on those skills that we haven't used in a while. So here's 5 more examples real quick. If you want to, pause the video, work them out, see if you can get them. And then I'm going to wait a couple seconds and then I'm going to start working them out. But pause them and try them if you want. All right, when I cross multiply here, 12x is 36. Divide by 12, I got 3. This one, when I cross multiply, 12a equals 64. Is that right? 4 times, yeah. So a is, that's a decimal. It's throwing me off. 64 divided by 12, 5.3. Again, cross multiply here. That's 15x equals 60. Divide by 15, x is 4. Okay, you should not get anything that involves an x squared or anything funky like that. These should be linear equations. All right, so when I multiply here, make sure to distribute. That is 5x when I multiply that way, and 3x plus 12. Subtract 3x. Divide by 2. This guy's 6. All right, probably the hardest one on here. Cross multiply 16a plus 24 equals 4a minus 24. Subtract 4a. 12a plus 24 equals negative 24. So 12a is negative 48. A is negative 4. Now I realize I did those fast. This is not new material. this should be a review for all of you. You've either had me for geometry or you have solved these linear equations before. So if you need to, go back and watch this part a couple of times, see if you've missed anything. Okay? Your assignment is a Google form. You do not need to put X equals in your answers or A equals or whatever. Just put the numeric answer. That's it.